Yo, what's up, guys? It's Yoyoyo, and today I'm bringing something totally different than what I usually bring. When I usually upload, I'm going to be uploading me. This is literally me. It's going to be me playing 2048 while talking about the Colts' season so far. It's going to be a new series, and it's going to be just like let's talk about it, and I'll have a colon in the title. Indianapolis Colts. That's when this is. I cannot speak today. Boo bop be bop. Um, I don't know why I did that, but it's gonna be like let's talk about it, and yeah, so it's gonna be the first one. So I'm just gonna go and start playing 2048 if it'll let me start playing. I'm really bad at 2048, by the way, but so Indianapolis Colts, we start out the season, we lose to the Chargers 24-30, and I'm thinking, okay, well, we have a new QB because if you didn't check out my video from a couple of months ago when Andrew Luck decided to retire out of nowhere, which was very shocking to all of us in the Colts fan base and to the NFL. Around like a lot of people make videos about it. I know one of my favorite YouTubers, Bangle, made one about Andrew Luck retiring, his reaction. But what was I going to say? Oh, but yeah. So we started the season. We're like, okay, let's see how well Jacoby Brissett's going to do against the LA Chargers. And we lose in OT, which I think the NFL overtime rules are dumb as hell, to be completely honest. Part of my French. I'm going to try not to cuss. But I mean, hell, I don't really think hell's a cuss word anyways. I mean, how I used it in the context I used it, it kind of is. So I apologize. But, let me think. But Jacoby Brissett came out 21 for 27. I'm looking at my phone for these stats because I can't remember the exact stats. He threw only 190 yards, which isn't very good, but he had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. The one thing I love about Jacoby Brissett is that man doesn't get sacked a lot because our O-line is the best O-line. We'll talk about that in a minute. And he also doesn't throw that many interceptions. Now, the rushing game, that game, Marlon Mack had an absolute day. That man rushed for 174 yards and had a touchdown. And we, like, when it comes to receivers, we still have T.Y. Hilton, and we have, we're using Paris Campbell a lot. We have to use, we didn't use Zach Pascal this game, but he's been a main target for us here lately. But for this game, he did not play. And we also have Darius Leonard back, who was a rookie sensation last season. I already lost. I'm so bad. But rookie sensation led the league in tackles last year, and he had 4 tackles this game. But when it comes to our defense, I mean, I was kind of worried about our secondary because we don't really have that good of a secondary. We have Rocky Yasin, who isn't very good, and he has to play cornerback 1, I believe. Yeah, he's played cornerback 1. Our linebacking core with Darius Leonard and Okukari, I can't pronounce it. I butchered it. Okukariri or something. I don't know. I'm very bad at pronouncing names. Not the best for us. And then Kenny Moore the second is pretty good. But we don't have Pierre Desir. After the first game, or I don't know when he got hurt, but he was in for the first game. He did a pretty good job, and then Malik Hooker this game had the one-handed interception that was beautiful. But overall, I thought the reason why we lost against the Chargers was definitely we could not stop Phillip Rivers. That man had 3 touchdowns and 300 yards. Rushing, they didn't do very well, but they did all right. We couldn't really stop. We already lost again, Jesus. But we couldn't stop because our secondary isn't very good. But that's okay. But let's go ahead and let's talk about the second game. So we did not do very good the first game. We should have won, though, I still think, because the overtime rules are so dumb, in my opinion. So second game, we beat the Titans 19-17. And it was a pretty good game. Marlon Mack only had 51 yards, but Wilkins had 82 on only 5 carries, so that man went off for us. But Jacoby Brissett came out here and threw 146 yards, which is pretty bad, but he had 3 touchdowns and 1 pick, so that's okay. But for some reason, you'll see a trend for me talking about these games. Eric Ebron does not get involved that much for some odd reason, even though he led tight ends and touchdowns last season. And Eric Ebron's one of my favorite players on the Colts, probably my favorite player. Him, Brissett, and Doyle. And Marlon Mack are probably my favorites, and then obviously Vinny. I have Adam Vinatieri with the Already lost again. I'm so bad, 2048. Please do not judge me in the comments. But Adam Vinatieri has been kicking like he's been kicking so bad. We would have won the Chargers game if he wouldn't have missed like an extra point and a field goal. He missed like an extra point and 2 field goals. Like that man is kicking awful so far. That'll be a big trend you'll see throughout the season. That man just misses so much, so many kicks. But let's just talk about like I said, Jacoby Brissett has came out here and he's doing his job. He's already shown he's one of the top 15 quarterbacks at least, top half of the league in quarterbacks. He can come out here and throw dots. He just doesn't throw for that many yards. He just throws little short passes, little short touchdowns, and that's that. T.Y. Hilton put in work this game. He had 43 yards and 1 touchdown. Ebron had a touchdown. I can't remember. No, this wasn't the game. He had an absolute freaking god of a catch against the Texans. Like, that man came out here and had a god of a catch. But how many passing yards did we let up? Against Mariota, we only let up 154. Yeah, we just can't really... we can't handle top tier running backs that well. We already lost again. I'm literally the worst 2048 player of all time. But we can't really do that well against elite running backs. Our defense is just not that good. Like, the main thing for our team, our offensive line and Marlon Mack is so good, and then we just have T.Y. Hilton that can catch dots, Eric Ebron, Jack Doyle, they can catch dots from Jacoby Brissett, because Jacoby Brissett is honestly a really good quarterback, and people have been disrespecting him, at my school at least, saying, like, my friend Zach all the time says he's just he's a below average quarterback. I'm like, bro, he's not a below average quarterback. If anything, he's an above average quarterback in my opinion. Mans does not get sacked, and when he does, it's just because our O-line kind of breaks apart, which our O-line is the best O-line in the league. You cannot change my mind. But we do beat the Titans, so that's good. We're going to talk about the Falcons game. I'm just going to kind of go over the Falcons game really fast. I'm going to kind of skip over. I've spent too much time talking about the first 2 games. We beat the Falcons 27-24. All the games have been close so far, and that is definitely going to be a trend you'll see. Sorry if you heard my little brother in the background. But Matt Ryan ate us up with 304 yards, but Jacoby Brissett had 310 yards and 2 touchdowns. So this man has like 7 touchdowns and only 1 interception through 3 games. So I'll take that any day. I'm so bad at this game. Jesus Christ. Someone give me some tips on how to be good at 2048. Please, 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 please. But yeah, so Jacoby Brissett, and then Marlon Mack. Jacoby Brissett and Marlon Mack are an elite quarterback and running back duo. You cannot change my mind on that. Marlon Mack is going to come out here and rush for 1,000 yards with so easily. I think he's he's like 8th in rushing so far. I think he's a top 10, if not top 5 running back in the league. So good, and he's so young. And same with Jacoby Brissett. Like, we have such a bright future if we keep those two, and we just let them develop. Just keep on developing. But yeah, let's go ahead and go to the other game. Let's go ahead and talk about the Raiders game. We lost to the freaking Raiders, which made me so mad. We've won or lost every game by 1 score. So, like, Jacoby Brissett had 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. So, a pretty good game, but just 1 pick. And then Marlon Mack, the rushing game was not there. This is where we lost the game. Marlon Mack only had 11 carries for 39 yards. And then our other rusher, like, Jacoby Brissett had 5 rushes, which is the next highest. And then Wilkins had 4, and then Hines had 3 rushes. And those were awful. Receiving for us, we didn't have T.Y. Hilton. Zach Pascal stepped up and gave us 72 yards. Ebron got a touchdown, and then Rogers got a touchdown. C.D. Rogers, I think it's his name. I might be totally wrong. But yeah, so we lost to the freaking Raiders. We couldn't stop Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is a monster rookie. Probably won Rookie of the Year if I had to guess. Offensive Rookie of the Year. We just could not stop the Raiders for some odd reason. But now we go on a 2-game win streak, the Texans and the Broncos. The Texans game was such a good game. The Texans game, I'm going to start to wrap this up just a little bit because we're getting close to the end of the video anyways. But I'm going to rant a little bit at the end. The Texans, we beat them by 7. And we hold Deshaun Watson to only 1 touchdown, and he has 2 picks. So that is great for us. On the interception side, Darius Leonard had a clutch one at the end to stop their rush, and then Pierre Desir had a good one as well. Zach Pascal stepped up for us so big this game. had 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. T.Y. Hilton had 74 yards, 1 touchdown. And then Ebron getting more involved, thank God. I love Ebron so much. And he caught a one-handed dot. If I can edit it in, I'll edit it. I'll edit in the clip, just somewhere, probably underneath Vinatieri or something. I don't know. I'll just probably just put it somewhere if I remember. I might not edit it in. But yeah, it was such a dot and such a great catch. But yeah, and then I mean Jacoby Brissett having the game of his life, the best game he's ever had, 360 or in the NFL, 326 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That man was having a great day. The next game they do play the Broncos, and we barely win. We win by a game-winning field goal. Thank God Vinatieri put on his big boy shoes and he hit a field goal for the win. We just kind of got tore up by. Like, it was just a very low-scoring game and not a fun game to watch. Jacoby Brissett had 202 yards, 0 touchdowns. Marlon Mack had 1 touchdown with 76 yards. It was just a very boring game to watch, like I said. But, what was I going to say? But, freaking Vinatieri hitting 3 field goals for us, 3 out of 4, hitting the game winner. So, very happy with that. Now, this is where things start to turn. We get beat by the Steelers by 2. Vinatieri misses a game-winning field goal. But Jacoby Brissett gets hurt, only throws 5 passes, 59 yards. He gets hurt. We had to put in Brian Hoyer. Now, Brian Hoyer throws a touchdown, and then the man throws a pick six to Mika Fitzpatrick, and Mika Fitzpatrick runs for like 96 yards or something dumb. But runs for like 96 yards and just absolutely takes to the house. But yeah, so if we wouldn't have thrown that pass, I think if we had Jacoby Brissett, we'd win this game no matter what, 24-26. Like, yeah, we would have won this game, but we still had a chance to win. But Kenny Moore also got a really good interception. But we still would have won this game, but Vinatieri missed a field goal. But our punter Sanchez, when he caught the ball, he had the laces out, so the ball just went like spiraling way off, which I don't know if Vinatieri would have hit it having his season, but he did hit a game winner the week before. But how his season has went, I think, there's still obviously that chance he would have missed it. It was a pretty long field goal. But yeah, so let's get to this. I don't even want to talk about this, but I have to. We lost to the freaking Dolphins. I'm sorry if that was ear rape, but we lost to the freaking Dolphins. I'm pretty sure. So I'm from this town. We have a gas station called Huck's. Some crackheads hang out around there. I'm pretty sure I could go grab 10 random guys from freaking Huck's, and we could go beat the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, I don't understand how we lost to them. We did not score in the first half. We had to start Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer, freaking 1 touchdown, right? 3 freaking interceptions. How can you be that bad? I'm pretty sure I could throw better than Brian Hoyer. Some of the passes he threw, I was like, why? You're an NFL quarterback. Sorry if you hear my mom babysits this baby, if you hear him crying in the background. What was I going to say? If you're an NFL level quarterback and you're a backup quarterback, how are you going to throw some of those passes? I just don't understand. But Marlon Mack had a decent game with 74 yards, but he couldn't get a rushing touchdown. And the only touchdown we had was a Jack Doyle. And I mean, Adam Vinatieri was 2 for 2 on field goals, so I'll give him that. And Vinatieri had a good game. But we still freaking lost to the Dolphins. How do you lose to the Dolphins? Ryan Fitzpatrick had 169 yards, only 1 interception, and they had 1 rushing touchdown from Ryan Fitzpatrick. Their touchdown was from Ryan Fitzpatrick. And their kicker had a great day. 3 field goals. I'm seriously, I've never been so upset after watching a loss. Like, I literally could not. I was so mad. I was with my friends and I was watching it on a live stream, and then I turned it off because I saw we got a 4th down conversion. I was like, oh, Brian Hoyer will be fine. He'll get his field goal range or something, and we'll win the game, right? I look back, he throws a freaking interception, and then they score or something. I can't remember, but they just win the game. I've never been so mad. I stand by this. We would have won the past 2 games with Jacoby Brissett, because Jacoby Brissett, I can't speak English. He's a little bit more competent than freaking Big Daddy Brian Hoyer. Still, I liked Brian Hoyer against the Steelers. He did okay. I still think we would have won with Jacoby Brissett, but he threw three touchdowns, technically 4 because he threw a pick 6. But yeah, so we're now 5-4 when we should be like 7-2 to be realistic. Like, we should have beat the Steelers and we should have beat the Dolphins. I literally am so mad by losing the Dolphins. Like, literally, I'm not even joking. I could go grab 10 random guys, like, off the street, and we could probably go beat the Dolphins. Like, I physically don't understand that. Can someone in the comment section please understand it? If you're a Dolphins fan, if you're Dolphins watching this, you're probably laughing right now, and I would be too. I just don't understand it. So, I have a picture of Vinny crying because that man's had an awful season. I just wanted to tell you all that again. We were trying out kickers on Tuesday. It's technically still Tuesday, I think, for me. Yeah, it's still Tuesday. So I don't know when this video is going to come out. Maybe Wednesday. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just so mad. Like on our schedule. Who do we play next? I think we play Jacksonville next, which I'm pretty sure Foles is coming back now. We play Jacksonville, which should be a W. Texans, I don't know. And then we play the Titans, and then Bucks, and then Saints, and then Panthers, and then Jags. So I think there's some games in there we can win, and I think the Colts will be able to make the playoffs. I think the Colts will be able to make the playoffs in the wild card, or we can win the division somehow, some way. We just gotta hope we can beat the Texans again, and yeah. Question of the day, just making it up. Do you think the Colts will make the playoffs? If you made it this far, I hope they do. If they don't, I will cry. But I mean, then we'll get a pretty good pick. The only thing we're missing is Justin Houston's really old, so after he retires, we're not gonna have that good of a rusher, just put on pressure on O lines, because Justin Houston's a beast. I love Justin Houston. But also our receiving core, they've been doing decent. Zach Pascal has stepped up so much, and I'm so thankful for that. So is Paris Campbell. But we have T.Y. Hilton and then Zach Pascal and T.Y. Hilton, or Zach Pascal and Paris Campbell. I think I said Hilton earlier. Like, that is not that good of a receiving core past T.Y. Hilton. Like, T.Y. Hilton is still one of the better wideouts in the league, in my opinion. So he still has some prime years in him. But yeah, I mean, we might draft a kicker this year because Vinny's getting old. We're probably picking up a kicker here soon because we were looking at him today. But I don't really know what we need in the draft. I'm definitely thinking secondary though, because our secondary it's not very good. Like, get us a top tier corner in free agency. Get us a top tier corner or something. I don't know. Just please. I'm mad. And Kendall Fuller's always a free agent this season. Get him, Colts. Get him, please. So that's probably going to be it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think about this video. Something new. I enjoy this a lot, just talking about it. Probably rambled a lot, but it's okay. But let me know if you think the Colts are going to make it to the playoffs. I think we will, either in the wild card or we will win the division. And yeah, so that's going to be it for this video, guys. This is going to be Obo, signing off.